Good afternoon, everyone. I was supposed to take your class today on law of conservation of momentum for I think half an hour, so I won't be able to take that today. So I'm just posting this video so that you will be able to complete the derivation and also can practice the numericals on the basis of that. And I will reschedule the class on either tomorrow, Saturday, or Sunday. So I hope you can understand this particular video, and I am also attaching another video link to the Google Classroom which contains the link for the animated form of same derivation. So whichever one you look into, you will be able to understand the entire thing. I am also attaching the PDF of the derivation and the numericals which I have shown you in the video as well. So I hope that will help you, and if you have any doubt, you can post those doubts in the comment section. Post them and we'll take up those doubts in the class. I will need 30 minutes, so I'll post two times. Choose any one of them and I'll schedule the class on that time duration. Thank you. So we are going to do the derivation for law of conservation of momentum. As we have talked in class, I am doing it with different symbols. You are going to do it with the symbols which were discussed in the class on your own and see the result. So let me take an example that I have an object of mass m1 moving with velocity u1, second mass m2 and moving with velocity u2. Both of them are moving in the same direction. I am assuming that u1 is greater than u2. So as a result, the two will collide with each other. They will undergo a collision. T time is taken up in this collision. During the collision, both the objects, they applied some force on each other. Object 1 applied force F1, object 2 applied force F2. Now force 1 is acting in the same direction as the object moving, which will result in the increase in the velocity of the second object. So M2 will be the object moving with velocity v2, the increased velocity v2, whereas m1 will be the object moving with velocity v1, which will be the decreased velocity v1. Now if I have to write this into a relation form, I can say that v1 is less than v2. Now we are going to see that during this entire process, what will be the overall momentum? Will it be conserved or will it be destroyed? That is, momentum which is being lost by one object, will it be gained by the other or not? According to the law of conservation of momentum, if you are not applying any external force, then it should be conserved. So we are going to see that. So this was our case. We have two objects moving with velocity u1, u2, where u1 is greater than u2. They undergo collision. After collision, for time t seconds, they change their velocity to v1 and v2. In this process, first object, it lost some velocity and its velocity got reduced, whereas the second object gained some velocity and its velocity got increased. So we are going to see how it will look like in a mathematical form. So now my case is divided into two parts. First will be before the collision. We have already done this in the class. And the second part is after the collision. Don't worry, I'll share the photographs with you all in the PDF format. So if you are not able to view the entire picture together, you can do it when you will get these values, these photographs in the PDF format. Okay. So we'll see what will happen before collision and after collision for object 1. So for object 1, if I find out the value of momentum before collision, then it will be m1 u1. And for the same object, if I find out the value of momentum after collision, then my momentum will be m1 v1. I can call this momentum as initial and I can call this momentum as final for the respective object. Similarly, if I want to find out what will be the change here, so change in momentum for object 1, then it will be, this change will be equal to m1 v1 minus m1 u1, that is final momentum minus initial momentum. You have to repeat this for the second object. So for object 2, of mass m2, we'll do the same thing. I will find out initial momentum, that is m2 u2, and final momentum, that is m2 v2. After that, we will see change in momentum, that will be equal to m2 v2 minus m1 m2 u2. So this is how we will calculate the change in momentum for an object. Now after that, force applied by an object, from second law we know that force applied by an object is equal to rate of change of momentum, that is mv minus mu by t, जहाँ पर k की वैल्यू 1 है. We have already done that. So we are going to use this formula. So this formula we got it from, we got this formula from second law of motion. And we are going to use this formula. We have two forces here to be found out, F1 and F2. Now force 1 is applied by object 1. So obviously when we will talk about mass, we will take mass of object 1, and we know that it is final momentum minus initial momentum, final momentum minus initial momentum by time taken. So for our case, final momentum will be m1 v1, initial momentum will be m1 u1, and time taken will be t. Similarly, for second object it will be m2 v2 minus m2 u2 by t. First equation, second equation. Now let's come to another very important part of this derivation. We know that according to third law of motion, every action has an equal and opposite reaction. So that means these two forces F1 and F2, they are equal to each other. Along with being equal, they are also opposite to each other, and minus sign will represent the opposite direction. Now just substitute the value of f1 and f2 here and you will get the answer. So if I give it a number 3, I can just write substitute equation 1 and equation 2 in equation 3. So what will I get? I will get, just wait, I will get m1 v1 minus m1 u1 upon t is equal to m2 v2 minus m2 u2 upon t with a negative sign here. So don't forget that negative sign, that is very important. It will be very crucial for your answer. So be very careful with its use. Now t is on the both side, we can cancel it. Same value, it can be cancelled out. Now this value m1 v1 minus m1 u1 is equal to, now outside the bracket you have minus sign, so if you want to neutralize this, all the signs inside will change. So it will become m2 v2 with a minus sign and minus minus plus, so it will become m2 u2. If you rearrange all the negatives, I'll just do two things. You don't need to show these arrows in your answer, just keep these arrows for the understanding. I will take this to the left side and I'll take this to the right side. I'm shifting them across the equal sign so their signs will also change. It will become m1 v1 plus m2 v2 and is equal to m1 u1 plus m2 u2. Now if you remember, the very first thing we did in this derivation was this, and if you look at here, m1 u1 was the initial momentum for object 1 here, and m2 u2 was the initial momentum for object 2. Similarly, m1 v1 was the final momentum for object 1 and m2 u2 was the final momentum for object 2. So what we are saying is, in this statement, that sum of initial momentum of both the object, so total initial momentum is equal to total final momentum. So we can conclude it like this, that this conclude momentum is conserved. You are not losing the momentum. So whatever momentum got reduced on one side can be transferred to the other object. So when the first object collided with the second object, it transferred the impact to the second object, and during that he himself lost some momentum, and the amount lost by object 1 is equal to the amount gained by object 2, and hence we can see that momentum is conserved. This is the last derivation of this chapter, also an important one, so I want you all to do it on your own also. That's why I have used here different symbols. In your notebook you might have we have used symbols like small m and capital M. So with the help of those symbols, come and arrive to this point where the value of initial final and initial momentums will be arranged to one side. Now please don't get confused, this is the final momentum total and this is the total of initial momentum, but equal sign hai, we can switch the sides, so you can do it according to your own choice. Okay? So thank you everyone. I hope this equation is clear to everyone, this derivation. If you have any doubt, you can leave those doubts in the comment section in your Google Classroom. Thank you.